454 has good power, but it's not radical enough where you can't drive this car wherever you want to go. It has a little bit of gear in the rear end, but you can still cruise it at 65, 70 miles an hour. The 4-speed's a Muncie 4-speed, shifts up through the gears, down through the gears really well, no grinding. I will say the exhaust is a little bit loud on the inside of the car, but it's still able to have a conversation while you're sitting here driving. The car feels really well going down the road. The suspension feels good, the steering feels really nice and tight. The brakes also feel really good on this car. There's a couple items that do not work. This car doesn't have a factory voltage gauge, but it has a voltage dummy light. That dummy light's not coming on the dash. The fuel gauge is not accurate, it's not reading properly. And then the horn doesn't work. It has a 2-gauge pod under the dash for oil pressure and water temperature. They both work. Your speedometer works. Has an aftermarket radio which works. Your wipers work. And all of your exterior lights on the outside, they all work. Interior of this car is really nice. It was a factory bench seat car. I do not know when the buckets were put in, but the bucket seats are nice. The dash is really clean. The gauge cluster looks all original, and it's got a little bit of wear on some of the bezels. Carpet's also older, but it isn't torn, doesn't have really any issues. Door panels look really nice. Rear view mirror's got a little bit of haziness on the bottom corners of it. It was a factory blue car. Unsure when the color change was done, but the paint is a really nice quality on this car. It has a few little touch-ups and little flaws from being done, but overall the quality of the paint is very nice. It's a very solid car underneath, and it runs and drives really well. Downshift here and do a 3rd gear pull. Clutch feels really good, engages where it needs to. Really fun car to drive with the 4-speed in the big block. Let off the steering wheel, it doesn't shake, drives really nice. Suspension and steering feel really nice and tight. Doesn't have any wobbles, doesn't have any shakes. This is a pretty bumpy road, and we're cruising down it with ease. Downshift a second. Another great thing about this particular car is the doors open and close really well. You can open it with a couple fingers and you can click it closed. And that's a really good indicator on a good car for me, is when I walk up to a car and you can open and close the doors with ease, and it's a simple click open and a simple click close. Try to avoid the big bump in the road here.